This is the MLW Radio Network.
Welcome, everybody, to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Josh Shernoff, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
Doing good, my friend. How are you?
I am well.
Dude, I am I'm becoming a happier meanie now that the weather's threatening to be a little bit warmer, which I enjoy. And me and Tracy, Mrs. Meanie, I like to point out how later the sun is staying out, which is like our favorite time of the year. You know, I love spring, I love summer. But yeah, man, the change in weather is definitely making me a happier meanie.
Well, that is great. So red-ass Meanie is turning into blue-ass Meanie. And we're
I'm thawing out.
We're all along for the ride. No, man, that's good. That's good. You we were talking off air that you after a failed attempt to get a chair last time where your car broke down at the Waffle House. By the way, thanks to the great Andy Slichter, there is now a broken down t-shirt available at ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Check it out. It's shades of the Waffle House, but just different enough that we can't get sued. And but this time you made it. You went to Delaware.
Yeah.
You were in Delaware.
Yeah. Hi, we're in Delaware.
It's a little Wayne's World reference, and if you don't get it, go watch Wayne's World because it's one of the greatest shows.
Well, I'm sorry. I think my car breaking down was a Delaware's rib on me because I had tweeted out that Delaware was the February of states. You know, just because you have to go through. It's something you have to go through to get to the cooler shit. You know, just like a little inside baseball for folks who haven't been watching the first 51 episodes. When we started doing this podcast, I was like, I'll be so Philly because I'm in South Philly. I'll do every episode sitting in a Philadelphia Spectrum chair because I have 4 Philadelphia Spectrum chairs. But yeah, that was doing me no fucking favors. I was like, man, I need a real fucking chair. And I started looking online. I was looking for like those Admiral like those executive chairs, you know, those big puffy fucking things, but they're like like $500 for those. I'm like, Jesus Christ, and I'm cheap.
It's unbelievable.
Wrestler.
It is unbelievable.
Professional wrestler, but professionally cheap. Yeah. So I was like looking everywhere, and even with free shipping because I got the Prime gimmick, still wasn't worth it. But anytime I have an idea, I can always trust on Mrs. Meanie to research stuff, and she found a place in Delaware, like 30 minutes south of Philly, and it's like one of these stores that's like a closeout store. Like any time like there's an office building that closes out, they go in, take all the furniture, keep it, and resell it. And I found the chair that I had been researching for. I mean, like the building's full of everything, like desks, chairs, boardroom stuff, lockers, everything, anything you could need for an office place. And I found the chair, and then of course Mrs. Meanie wanted a chair too, so I wound up getting 2 chairs. Nice. Which miraculously fit my car, and we drove them home.
That's the most impressive part, man, because I went and bought a chair recently as well. Like, this is a new chair I'm sitting in because my back was killing me. And I had the giant box. I just on a whim, I'm like passing a Staples. So I went in, I got the chair. I had looked it up which one I wanted because again, I'm the same as you. I'm looking this up and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself to a really nice chair. I'm like, what does that cost? And they're like, it's $1,500. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. What's this one cost? $150. Perfect. So I went to Staples, but my wife had the car out. I guess she took the kids out somewhere, and there was so there was a stroller in the car and like all this stuff, and I like could barely fit this giant box in. So good on you to be able to fit 2 chairs in your car.
Dude, yeah. Luckily, I got one of those cars where the back seats fold down and it kind of turns into like I got the hatch and all that shit.
I have the back seats fold down, except I've got car seats in them, so I can't fold them down.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got like 2 really nice chairs for like $175.
Wow.
So that's pretty
awesome,
sweet,
man.
Yeah. And I wish I could remember the name of the place, but we walk into the place and it's like right downtown Wilmington, I believe it is. Wilmington or Newark, I don't know. You take 95 to 495 and it's exit like 3A. And you make the right off the exit, and like you're in this industrial part. And I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure they filmed the what's that movie? Saw here. Yeah, it's like I'm going to walk in, and there's it's going to be somebody chained to a heater. But no, it's pretty cool.
Now, which heater was it? Mr. Hughes? Was it? I don't know why he's always my go-to when I think of a heater.
Give him the heater.
Yeah, I always think. I think there was I think it's that Triple H interview once where he was talking about when they wanted like China, and they're like a female heater, and they're like, "Nah, we'll give you Mr. Hughes." And I think that's why he always pops into my head whenever you say heater. I think of Mr. Hughes as a heater.
Always thinking of the manager from the Cleveland Indians in Major League. Give him the heater. Hey, how would you like to manage the Cleveland Indians? I don't know. I got some white walls over here I got to put on my car. Or something like that. But the guy who we went into the warehouse, the guy was such a fucking character. Yeah. Like if I walked into a movie and I needed a typecast for a wacky warehouse guy, and I was like, man, I should be documenting this. But he's like a short little Patton Oswalt looking dude. Who just like had all the office warehouse jokes and stuff like that. But like I was looking at these chairs, they're called, I want to say they're called 24/7 chairs. Wow. Where like they're built
green,
for like
green with like a gold round medallion right in the center.
Yes, and R-Truth was there for some reason. I don't know. I love R-Truth. But yeah, they got these chairs that are built for like people who work at 911 calling stations. Somebody's constantly sitting in this chair for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week kind of thing. But those chairs, they wanted like $500 for, and those were normally over $1,000. So man. I was like, nah, I see that guy. I saw the chair I'm sitting in right now. I saw as soon as, when you want something, normally your eye just finds it out in the crowd, and you're just like, oh, okay, that chair. And this guy's having me try all these other chairs. I was like, yeah, that's cool and all, but I see that chair over there. And my
it's like when you're like car shopping.
My ass is going, yay!
It's like when you're car shopping, and and they're just like, I see you in this, and it's like, well, I'm glad you see me in it, but I have no interest in being in this car. Yeah. Like I have a family of 5. It's like, oh well, here's a 2-door. I had a 2-door car once. Kind of going off the rails here, but I had a 2-door car. It was a Toyota Solara. It looked like a Lexus, so I was like, well, that's pretty cool. Kind of looks like a Lexus, but I can't afford a Lexus, so let me get this. And it seemed like a really great idea. And at the time, it was like I wanted to kind of impress my girlfriend at the time's parents. They were a little like, hey, what's this guy who keeps talking about wanting to be a wrestler? How is he going to take care of our daughter? And it's like, well, we're in college. Let's not jump the gun. But so I got this like nice car. Well, fast forward, break up with the girl, find myself down in OVW and I've got Drew McIntyre and Wade Barrett squeezing into my 2-door Solera. It was the funniest thing. I mean, I've told the story before where I'm pretty sure it was Stu's hair on, like, there's like a time I look over and there's hair attached to the top, like the roof of the passenger seat, because I think his head was just like on there, and I guess like static electricity or something. But yeah, it's good times.
That's like early like Blue Meanie days when Raven would have me. He kind of wanted me to do the Bull Nakano thing, just keep hairspraying my hair up.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you kind of looked like in a way, right?
Yeah.
In the very beginning.
Blue Nakano. But like it got to the point where I
didn't know you knew her that well.
Teenage meanie.
There's a lot wrong with what I just said.
No, there would have been a lot right if that could have happened to a teenage Blue Meanie. I had a crush on Bull Nakano.
Man, have you seen her recently? She looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
totally different person. I would have just said that, that's not Bull Nakano.
Yeah. I like her. I'm just like, I'm looking at the thing. It's like, here's a picture of Bull Nakano. I'm like, well, okay, I see this one woman who wears Bull Nakano in here. She looks incredible. Yeah.
Woman with a blue mohawk wearing heavy metal t-shirts. I'm in love. But like, I would have to drive to those ECW shows like this, with my head tilted because, my mohawk was rubbing on the ceiling like a Crayola crayon.
And was the thought behind there that like when you got out of the car, you wanted to be the Blue Meanie for like the audience, or like, couldn't you have done that once you got to the arena?
I could have, but there's early days where Raven wanted me to, come to the building in gimmick. Like I would have to pick him up in the half, and we'd walk into the building, and I'd be in my half shirt, Daisy Dukes, face painted. And one time we went to pick up Raven. Mm-hmm. I don't know I forgot what the deal was, but we're outside of Raven's apartment on South Street in Philly. It's me, Raven. I want to say Kimono Wanalea, Stevie, and me. And some guy walks up to Raven and goes, "Hey, man, aren't you that Raven guy?" And Raven's like, "Nah, man, I'm not him." "Weird, you kind of look like him." And Raven's like thinking, here I am in a leather jacket, dressed as Raven, with the Blue Meanie, with Steve Richards, with Kimono Wanalea. And the guy's going, "Man, you look like this guy, Raven. I swear to God."
That's awesome.
Like he was just going with, "Nah, man, wrong guy."
Hey.
Well, I hold on, but hold that. Hey.
Okay.
You're gonna regret it. We got to bring this up later because today we're also filming That Was Extreme with Joel Gertner.
Yeah.
One time I was at a convention and I was wearing a Monster Factory Pro Wrestling, Monster Factory School T-shirt, Pro Wrestling School T-shirt. And somebody came up to me, and I forgot who it was, and they were talking to me. They're like, "Hey, do you know any dojos or wrestling gyms I could work out at?" And I was just stood there. I went, "Nope, no, I don't know any in the area." And Joel was watching this happen, and I just went, because I was purposely, look, I'm standing here wearing a Monster Factory T-shirt. "Hey, do you know any wrestling schools?" "Nah, I don't know any." And when the person walked away, Joel was like, "That was awesome." Just
my hey was going to say, "Meanie, you look parched."
Oh, and I am parched.
Because I said you're going to regret it. Because off air, we were talking a little bit about how, we both were telling stories or doing whatever, and we're both always ready to drink a little seltzer. But today's a special day. Guys.
Yes.
If you've been with us from the beginning, you know that soft seltzer is kind of, that's what brought us together. Well, today, things are about to get a little ugly. They're going to get real, and they're going to get ugly. Ugly, that is the name of the company. Ugly Flavored Sparkling Water. They sent us these incredible soft seltzers, and we want to thank them, and we want to tell you all about them. before we crack these open. Yeah, look at this. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Vanna White over here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect. It looks like which flavor? What do you have? Peach?
I have peach.
All right, spoiler. I also have peach here because peach is amazing. I've had the peach. I've had the lemon lime. Both are phenomenal. I have yet to have the cherry. So I thought, why don't I try the cherry live on air? So I asked them, I said, well, what can we tell everybody about it other than the fact that these are delicious? So they said, basically they created Ugly to be a refreshingly honest, sparkling water with no sugar, no sweeteners, no calories. And beyond just quenching your thirst, they aim to celebrate the real, the raw, and the imperfect, the ugly truth. Their flavors are designed to be punchy and nostalgic and a genuine soda replacement for those wishing to ditch the sugar and the sweeteners. And I think that is, to me, I was a big soda drinker and then I kind of fell into the seltzer thing. But to find something that really gives you that taste, but without the extra, like a Coke Zero or something, you're getting all the chemicals, you're getting all that. This right here, I mean, their ingredients, sparkling water, natural flavor. That's it.
Can't get any better than that.
So you can use #TheUglyTruth when you're going and talking about this, but we definitely encourage you to find them on social media. They are, you know what, let's just crack it open. Let's do it.
Yeah, please. I'm dying to taste this. So 3, 2, 1. Let's get ugly.
All right, you do yours first.
Okay. First off, this isn't even like a pitch. I just open it and it smells great.
It does. It smells amazing.
It smells really good. Yeah. I'm sure that sounds great on a podcast, but that's really good. Dude, seriously, that's really good.
The cherry is delicious as well. I was pretty much at this point, I was getting worried. Like my wife actually even said to me, because, we have the Wegmans brand ones as well. And, they sent us, I want to say it was 3 8-packs of these different flavors. Mm-hmm. And every night I'm like sitting there, I'm drinking another one. She's like, don't you need to drink those on air? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I should really stop drinking them. That is how much I'm actually enjoying them.
Yeah.
These are incredible. You can go at Ugly Drinks on Twitter. Follow them at Ugly Drinks. And they have a link, uglydrinks.com. But it'll take you right to their whole thing. If you click it, /products, whatever. This is what their website looks like. So you'll know you're on the right thing. First thing I saw here, blue raspberry. All right, we're going to have to, and it's already sold out. Wow. That's another thing. Apparently they announced they have blue raspberry as a new one and it's sold out. So get on it with this. They are a small company. They just started about a year ago. We have been talking about having a sponsor for seltzers for pretty much the entire show for about a year now.
Absolutely.
This is a dream come true. And, there are things that we've gotten offers to sponsor certain things. And Meanie and I are kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if that's one we want to do.
Right.
There is nothing better than having a sponsor that you truly believe in. So again, go to uglydrinks.com, at uglydrinks on social media. And the hashtag, which it says right here on the can, #TheUglyTruth. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. I like drinking. I used to like drinking soda a lot, but I was addicted to the fizz. Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta get off soda. I gotta start drinking like seltzer. And this ugly drink gives me the fizz that I miss from actually drinking like a carbonated drink, like a soda type fizz, but the flavor is really good. And I don't have that weird feeling on my teeth after I drink a soda where I feel like I need to get a squeegee and squeegee my teeth off,
No, it's true.
This is a beautiful package, man. I really dig the ugly logo on here with the U with the the quote bubble that says peach. You know, it kind of goes like a quote bubble from the U to the peach. I can't express enough how good does. Besides, it tastes great. It smells really good in here right now. So.
Which is a huge change of pace. I'm reading some of dude, go to their website. Their website's hilarious.
Yeah.
They have bios on the drinks themselves, on the flavors. The flavors have like Ugly Berry is a former stunt can and ex-rodeo clown.
That's amazing.
These are they're this is fantastic. This is really, really cool. Not surprising that they also have reviews, and they're 5 out of 5 here. Yeah, awesome. I'm going to not continue to stare at this on air, but they look like, and they, you know what? Hey, if you're somebody who doesn't like flavored, they just have water. They have still water, purified water. And they also have just sparkling water, just non-flavored.
That's amazing.
And here's how it all began. They have root beer, which was something, I think this was how the entire relationship began, because of Mrs. Meanie talking about a root beer. And they're kind of like, hey, we do root beer. I'm
full credit to Mrs. Meanie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of this. But again, it was when the package showed up too. It just jumps out at you. It kind of has that like 90s feel to it, you know?
It does. It does.
But delicious. So again,
hopefully they get some swag, man. Hopefully they do some swag with some shirts and stuff like that, man, because I'm really digging that design. I would definitely rock that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, let's see. I don't see it on here, but we're going to tell them, make some t-shirts so we can buy some t-shirts.
Dude, I would definitely
wear that.
This. And I would definitely continue drinking this drink.
Oh my God, they have so many other flavors I didn't know about that are sold out. Sour apple, pumpkin spice.
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Candy cane. Well, I think okay. These were limited edition holiday ones, obviously.
Mrs. Meanie was looking at their website and she saw they had like marshmallow, which sounded really good.
Yeah, man, I love these limited edition ones. Man, if only there was some sort of like a Blue Meanie berry limited edition.
Yeah.
That's a DM getting sent today. All right.
Yeah.
But no, hey, thank you again to Ugly.
We could just do a whole show about this drink.
Yeah. I'm sure the rest of our sponsors would appreciate that. But again,
no bullshit.
No,
this is really good.
Really, really good. Definitely check them out. uglydrinks.com. And we thank them so much for sending these over and sponsoring our podcast here. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even care about sponsorship. Just keep sending me these. Keep sending them. I'll go on every platform there is and talk about it. This is the way into my heart.
Yeah, this is so good. If you're looking for like a soda substitute that tastes good, if you're trying to, kick the soda habit, which, I used to have a bad one back in the day.
Me
I would
too.
drink like 2 liters a day. Just ugh.
It wasn't that bad. But I would at least have like 3 or 4 cans a day.
Yeah, this was like,
which means your habit was more cost effective than mine, I think.
Yeah,
just drinking the liters.
That's the thing. Yeah. 99 cents for this whole thing.
Dude, it kills me when I go. There's a Chinese restaurant that we'll order from, and when I'll go and pick up, they're always so nice. Like, I guess maybe we get an absurd amount of food, but they're always like, oh, you can get a free liter of soda from the fridge there. And I always look, and it's just straight up legit. It's Coca-Cola, like not even Coke Zero, not anything like that. And I'm always like, oh, no, thank you. I appreciate it, because I don't drink it. And it like bums me out every time. I'm like, this is free. I want this. This is free. But
unless it's like ginger ale, which I get sentimental for,
Ginger ale?
Yeah, I think of my grandparents every time I drink a ginger ale. Because, like, I would always think of, a day I'd be homesick from school and I'd get the chicken soup with the crackers and some ginger ale, because ginger ale was always the thing you drink when you're homesick from school watching The Price is Right. You know?
I wouldn't watch that. I remember I'd be homesick from school, drink some ginger ale, and watch like the A-Team and what other things were on? Like Perfect Strangers was always on syndication at that point, and I'm trying to think there was another Quantum Leap. Which, did you ever watch Quantum Leap?
That's a show I need to watch.
Oh man, that was, now in fairness, I haven't seen it in a very, very long time, but I loved it. And Scott Bakula, who was the star of that, he was doing, I think, like an NCIS, one of those. It was NCIS New Orleans, I think. That got canceled. So now, like, rumors are running rampant about, like, so apparently, like Quantum Leap, the way it ended, and I won't say how it ended, but it ended it got canceled. So it kind of ended with a little, like, they did like a text wrap up at the end with, like, on the screen, like telling you certain things. But
kinda like a cheat.
Yeah, because I mean, that was it, But it ended in a way that 100% opens up to a revival. Like,
nice.
Absolutely. Like, it wouldn't even be, sometimes there's a revival and you're like, I wonder how they're going to work that out. Like, to kind of bring this character back, whatever. The way that they ended it completely lends itself to a revival, and I would be all about that. Quantum Leap was such a cool, and now with the graphics they can do today, I mean, it was ahead of its time back then too, and like it was so good. So,
Scott Bakula quantum leaps into a Stargate.
Yeah. Dude, but nowadays I could see them doing stuff like that. I could see them having him quantum leap into his, like, NCIS character. You know what I mean? Like, because they do this meta type stuff like that nowadays. That would be amazing to have him quantum leap into those characters. Oh, we're writing some quantum leap fan fiction here on Mind of the Meanie.
Yeah, the only episode of Quantum Leap I watched it because Terry Funk was on an episode.
Was he really?
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
He was on the episode. Yeah.
Well, he is featured in an episode of That Was Extreme, dropping April 1st on adfreeshows.com, because that's who we're talking about today when we record it.
Very cool.
Yeah, everybody's putting over, by the way, in our Patreon here. They're putting over the cans, the color can. Vanessa says, sign the cans when you're done.
I will. Yeah.
I'll sign it. What are we doing with that? I still have over there another can that I signed. You know what?
I still have my official StarKiss Sharpie.
Oh, look at you. Big shot.
Yeah. I'll sign this. Let's see.
All right, I'll sign my can too. He's signing. I know this is I forgot this is still an audio podcast.
Yeah, put in some like that, Jeopardy.
Yeah. All right. So he is signing. So but what are we doing?
I don't know.
Are we selling this? Are we auctioning this off?
I have no fucking clue. I don't know. We should send it back to Ugly. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. That'll be fun.
I got water on my fucking laptop. God damn it.
Yeah, maybe don't turn your can sideways to sign it while there's still stuff in it.
Oh, look at you, Mr. fucking 2020 hindsight vision.
Thank you.
Everybody's an expert with 2020 hindsight vision.
Vanessa also has a perfect point here. Ziggy was an iPhone, pretty much. Ziggy was the little gimmick that they had on Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
It pretty much was an iPhone. And I remember I actually made, in art class in school, I made a Ziggy. Like I had like a block of wood, and I just started like gluing random crap onto it to turn it into like a Ziggy.
That's so cool.
Which, knowing me, it's in a box somewhere in my storage closet because
probably
I don't throw away anything. I've been thinking about moving my stuff around behind me. You don't see it on Mind of the Meanie, but like, so I've got like my action figure collection, but I then have on the other sides of those, I have other random memorabilia and things like that. And I'm thinking I might take like the Hasbro collection and shift it to the other side and bring the memorabilia in, because like I don't host an action figure show. So I'm starting to feel like when I'm watching, like it's a little too much.
Kind of like we're biting off of the other podcast. That
Yeah. It's like, welcome to the spinoff of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, where we don't talk about action figures. We just have our own, which you can buy over at Cella Toys. Hey, let's learn a little bit about that right now. From the hit podcast Mind of the Meanie comes the brand new Mind of the Meanie action figures by Cella Toys. A 2-pack featuring former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie, and his Mind of the Meanie co-host Josh Shernoff with removable microphone. These figures feature 3 points of articulation and incredible likenesses. These retro-style figures can be purchased outside the U.S. at cellatoys.net and inside the U.S. over at mindofthemeanie.com. With only 1,000 made, this collectible 2-pack won't be around for long, so pre-order now. The Mind of the Meanie action figures by Cella Toys. Order now. And welcome back, everybody. That was just a little commercial for Cella Toys.
That was quite informative.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, dude, it's the time's coming closer to when we're going to have these actual figures in hand, and I'm so excited.
I can't wait. They're going to be so cool. You know, I was doing the other day, I'll show you right here, because yesterday I was doing a roundtable for the NWA. And so I've got the Nick Aldis figure, which does not come with the belt. I found this belt. I don't know which figure this came with, but I had an NWA belt. So I put it on him. But I had him being interviewed by me. So I had it just kind of sitting behind me. So I may or may not, since, little inside baseball, I also produce the segments that I do for FITE. So there may be a tiny lower third commercial for the Mind of the Meanie action figures popping up in this NWA, in this NWA thing. No, they're absolutely, and by May, I mean 100% there is. It pops up on the bottom of the screen while I'm showing these figures. Yeah, but the thing I'm most excited about, Meanie, and your inability to come pick up your figure is why you don't know this. There is a weight difference, and there is a, like, holding them in your hands, you can tell this is an action figure and this is a prototype. Like, you can tell. You can't tell it by just looking at it, but like, I am so excited. But also, like, you can see like the little S on my tie and stuff. It's a prototype, so it's a little like decal that's put on. Whereas with Nick Aldis, you can see like the logos on his knee pads and on the back of his trunks. You can see that those are like painted on, like deco added on. So there's like that extra excitement of just, what is this figure going to look like? Like the actual figure, you know, how cool is this really going to look? And it's amazing because the thought of it being cooler than our actual figures, yours is behind glass, otherwise I'd take it out. But
gotta hide me from the kids.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Every time my kids come into my office, they immediately like, "Oh, Daddy, can I ask you?" And then like their eyes just go and they just stare at the figures there. And my and
you're
son
like, "Hey,
just
my
wants,
eyes are up here. My eyes are up here."
Yeah.
Kids.
My son wants that Blue Meanie figure so bad, like, because he still has.
I could give him my ugly can.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure he'd be really excited about that. But he still has the micro brawler, and then the other one, and then the other figure that you have, and he just, he loves the micro brawler one. But as soon as I showed him this one, he's just been. That's just what he wants. He wants that Blue Meanie figure, and it's like, he'll take a daddy figure too. Why not? but he wants the Blue Meanie figure. So,
Daddy, I see him every day.
yeah.
But yeah, man, that's so cool. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Cella Toys has been killing it with all these action figures, and it's just so cool that we're on the back of the other figure. You know, our artwork's on the back of the other one.
I have that somewhere. I like put the artwork like somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I like when I opened up the Aldis, I kept the back so I could have, because I'm like, that's really awesome.
Frame it. You know? But yeah, dude, it's so cool. You know, just to have it in 2021 to have a new action figure in production. Yeah. It's amazing.
In 2021 to have a action figure. For me, name the year, it doesn't matter. For me to have an action figure, and to have one with the Blue Meanie, man.
Hopefully, this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship with Cella Toys.
Yes, I hope so. I think so.
I believe so. I feel so.
Yeah.
We're a little inside baseball. We're talking about a little inside baseball without giving to it. We're talking about other stuff too. So
yeah,
you know,
we're definitely working on some other things with them. Also, while we're talking about our action figures, we ran a little bit of a contest on social media where you had to go on and you had to, I believe it was subscribe to Mind of the Meanie, wherever you listen to your podcasts, retweet with a screenshot proving that you subscribed, and tag a friend. This was a giveaway for a signed retro figure 2-pack by Cella Toys of Mind of the Meanie. And we are very happy to announce that the winner is Colin Sturchio at Colin_S18. Colin, send us a DM. Our DMs are always open. Send us a DM with your address, where to send this to, and we will be sending you a signed copy or a signed figure when those figures are released, which we're hoping will be before the summer starts. So possibly May, looking like it might be sometime around May. So we'll find out. We'll let you know. But as soon as we get them in hand, you're going to get a signed one sent your way. Thank you, everyone, for playing. We are definitely going to do this again and continue to kind of raffle these off. It's a lot of fun, and it helps spread the word on the podcast. And we appreciate all of you for trying. So, hey, if you did it once before, do it again. Feel free to send that picture in that you subscribed. We're cool. Yeah, we're cool with having you on there again. Another shot at winning. But yeah, thank you so much. And thanks for playing. We're definitely working on some other things with them, and working on some other things with other people too. Not action figures, but some other stuff that we can't get into just yet. But we've just got more stuff coming. And I will say that while I can't tell you what it is, it's looking like this new product that we're working on could lend itself to the very first live appearance of the Mind of the Meanie. So
yes,
we're working on something, and that would be, our goal is August, because we're feeling like maybe we'll be comfortable in August and be vaccinated. Sorry, I have something in my eye here, and it's a tear thinking about getting to see all of you in person. But yeah, it would be a new product that we would be able to do, like one of those live, meet and greets and signings and things like that. And if that happens, we've already talked to the people about being at that venue to do a live episode of Mind of the Meanie. Not a live stage show, not one of those. We're not quite there yet. But what we would basically do is, this would be the first time Meanie and I would be together for an extended period of time. And our thought process was, well, if we're going to be together, why don't we just record the show? We'll bring our Roadcaster with us. We'll plug it on in.
Yeah.
And we'll do our show. We'll do our show from right there. And I think we would have our buddy Calvin Tan would be there to help live stream it to all of you, if anyone who's not able to be in the area. And who knows, maybe we'll even have Slichter come out and autograph T-shirts that he's designed.
He could definitely, without giving it away, he could probably do something with this product.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Absolutely.
Yes.
Slickter's sitting there going, what are you talking about? Because we haven't told. I love when I have like ideas. I'm like, oh yeah, like that was the, like Calvin can live stream. Like it was, I had this idea and I like pitched it to the people and talked to Meanie about it. And I'm like, oh shit, you know who I should talk to? Calvin. See if he's interested in doing this. And which of course he is. But
he's definitely part of the crew, man. We have a crew.
We do. We're very lucky to have a crew, and
we have a posse.
Yeah, we've been able to build this, and then it's awesome too. We've got, you know, we're expanding our crew, but we also are expanding our pod squad. You know, our fans that have become family that we just love to spend time with and talk to. And it's like, you know, we'll log into these and we've got, you know, RJ and Vanessa and Shackleford and we've got, you know, Sorensen and Devin and Travis and anyway, now I'm just looking at names so I don't leave people out. So, hey, you know, if you weren't on today,
it feels like Romper Room. I see Slichter and Bobby
but we've got Vanessa. We've got all of these people here that have become part of the show too, which is so cool, which is why we would encourage you to go to patreon.com/mindofthemeanie. We love it. We love when you're joining and you get to be here for this live with us. It's just so much fun. It's so much fun to be able to continue to interact with people. And
I'm dying for the moment where I can just be vaccinated and we could just be out and about doing live shows and we get this just bullshit in person, you know?
Yeah, no. And it's going to happen. It's happening. It's happening soon. And by happening soon, I mean I'm registered and still don't have an appointment to get vaccinated.
Well, Mrs. Meanie's getting her second shot next Friday.
Yeah, I guess this coming Friday? Yeah.
Yeah, I was more worried for her than myself.
Yeah.
You know, just because, you know, she has lung issue. She's always getting like, you know, pneumonia and stuff like that. So just,
that's rough. That's rough.
She's got bad lungs. I got bad lungs, but like, you know,
she's got bad lungs and he's got bad lungs, but we've got the worst lungs of them. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know why that came into my head.
Nah, it's all right. It's all good, man.
Thanks.
Why do I hate? Why do I hate you, man? In the words of Tracy Smothers, why do I hate you, man?
No, but in all seriousness, it's like a sigh of relief knowing that, you know, like a loved one has gotten the vaccine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm a lot like my grandmom in the fact that like I picked up her trait of putting others before myself. It's just like I'll be okay. You get vaccinated first. Yeah. I'll be okay. I'll figure some way out. My grandmom was always like that. You know, she would always, you know, put family members ahead of her. I'll be okay. You go do that and we'll be all right. You know, so which you know, speaking of my grandmom, I've been doing that ancestry.com thing.
Yeah. How's that coming?
Okay, good.
Anyone else suffer from
it's addicting. No. I told you about was my sixth great grandfather died from from what was the phraseology? Severe diarrhea or something.
No, it was not chronic. No, chronic diarrhea would be different. I mean, I'm assuming he had dysentery or something of the sorts. Like that had to be what it was. But it said like he died from like extreme diarrhea. So I don't know what the hell. Like,
I'm pretty sure I still have it on my phone because I was like, dude, I was looking on my laptop and I tried to re-find it on my phone and you know do a screenshot and I couldn't. So I was like, fuck, let me take a photo of the screen before I fucking lose this forever.
Well, you sent it to me too. I'll see if I can.
Hold on, I found it. Hold on,
you got
it. Well, this is for our pay. Well, this is my sixth great grandfather, Aries Hall, And,
rocking the meanie beard.
Dude, I found a couple people who have this fucking beard. Like you see photos. There's like a Myron Heffron.
There's like, you know what it is? It's probably a genetic thing that makes you A, look good with that type of a beard, and B, like that type of a beard. You know what I mean? Like it works for you, so it must be genetic.
Death date, September 1879. He was 55. He had chronic diarrhea.
Oh, it was chronic diarrhea. Okay.
He died. He's part of my family. I had a part of my family that lived in New York, upstate New York, and then they moved over to Minnesota. And there's a part of the Heffron family tree that either came over from England, settled in New York. Some moved to Minnesota. Some moved to Michigan. So then there's the Heffron tree, which is like
that a Dr. Seuss book?
Yeah, the Heffron tree.
What is in my eye? Something's in my eye. Oh.
You just reminded me of the joke, Mr. Pibb is Dr. Pepper without the doctorate or something like that. You know, it's basically the same fucking soda, right?
Yeah.
So there's
none
like two. What's that?
As good as this. None as good as ugly.
Dude, this is really good. I can still smell it, which is a good thing. We sent in our spit, so we're waiting for that to come back too. Supposed to go back like 6 generations, and then they link you with other people who probably might have taken the test and stuff like that. So
yeah, I did that thing too.
And like the Heffron tree just fucking dies out. Like there's like one point where like I'm trying to find, there's like a William Heffron, Heffron, you know, Heffron's the lazy way of saying it, but it doesn't go any
it's
further.
It's your name, man. Say it however you want.
But he married this woman, Olive Hills, and her fucking family goes all the way up through. I got like a great grandfather who fought in the Revolutionary War.
Wow.
His father was drum and fife, you know, in the Revolutionary War, stuff like. I have a lot of people who fought in, you know, the wars back in the day, fought for the Union and all that stuff.
See, that's crazy to me because like when we look back, and my brother does this all. You know, he's really dialed into.
He's helped me on a few things too because he's gotten a kid.
Oh yeah, he told me he's been like, you know, that's all you need with Fred. Fred is like he is like like Google. You know, it basically like there's so many times I'm just like, man, I don't know, is this a good thing? And I'll just like stick Fred on it, and he'll go and like research for 12 hours and come back with something. But yeah, no, I know he's happy to help. But
him and Mrs. Meanie should do their own research firm because she's always researching shit. You know?
But no, like it's with mine, like my family, he's been able to trace it back a little bit, but it gets tough as soon as you get to the family that came over from, you know, from Russia, or, you know, we have family from like Austria. And
same.
Like, but like it's once you get out of the US, it starts to become significantly more difficult to trace these things back. And you know, so we've been lucky enough, you know, my grandfather is almost 94 years old, but he's still here. And he's been able to kind of fill in some blanks, at least with his family. And my grandmother, before she passed, had been able to, you know, there were always the stories you heard. And my dad, he had told us stories, you know, but it's interesting. And it's also one of those things, you know, Fred will find something about like my dad's like great uncle or something like that. And my dad would always be like, yeah, you know, these people, they lived with us at a time, you know, and that's how it was. And still is in some regards, but that's how it was back in the day. Like, you know, he grew up in South Philly, and it was basically like, you know, next door was his uncle. On the other side was his grandparents, and was it, you know, and then at one point, one of his grandparents was living in his house and staying, you know, and like, that's what you did. It was just your family was all in that one block. And when one got too old to live by themselves, they moved in with you. And that was, you know, that was how family was back then. But you find these things now, and you know, Fred will say like, man, I wish Dad was here to like, because he used to always like wonder about this, and I just discovered it. and I'd like to be able to share it with them. But it's really cool, and I hope that one day, like future generations and stuff will, because of things like ancestry and all, like we'll be able to know so much more about, we might be able to go back this certain amount, but you fast forward 200 years from now and look at all and these people are going back, hundreds and hundreds of years. So it's really cool, the people who are doing the work now, to put this together for future generations,
Yeah, and they're just some things like you said, so along the line, sometimes stuff ends up getting muddy. Like some people merge two people together that weren't the same person.
Yeah. You have
because
to
because when you come from overseas, you could have one last name, and then you get to Ellis Island. They're like, oh well, now you're so and so. They changed that at the border, but I'm finding that I've had family. Well, like I said, the Heffrons kind of that tree. I hit a brick wall with that, but then my dad's mom, her family goes all the way to Norway because her maiden name's Eriksson. So the Erikssons, I'm along that bloodline. But I found on my mom's side, my grandmom's folks go back to Ireland. And then there's some that branch over to England, and I saw a couple Smiths. I was like, oh, maybe Harry Smith, maybe me and your cousin.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. We could do that
Could
British
be.
Blue Dogs thing. We could be the British Blue Dogs, so.
That's awesome. No, I
it's been fun.
It's
been
at one
fun.
point, but like Shernoff was that was not our name. It was something, like I don't even know how to pronounce, but it was something very Russian sounding that I can't, with like that I don't really have the ability to pronounce, in that proper way. But it's neat to kind of see, and you go back and you try to find these people, and I'll find there's this one guy. I think it was my dad's uncle. It was my dad's uncle Max, that I'd never seen a picture of, and I mean he was I never met him, and but I'm going through, I'm looking at all these pictures, and I'm just like, hey, that's my eyebrows. And I'm like no joke. I'm looking
me with the beard. That's me with the beard.
Yeah. And I'm looking at it, I'm going that's just legit. I have very specifically, I don't shape these. Okay. This is the good Lord put these together, as a rib. And, but I'm looking, I'm looking at that arch and everything, and I'm like, holy crap. That's a weird thing too. Just like what you're saying with the beard, when you find this guy that lived this whole life walking around with your eyebrows, and you're just like, holy crap. That's so, it's just so weird.
But cool.
Oh, awesome. Very awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's other stuff I'm finding. I've, going through I found my sister's yearbook photo, so I fucked her up by I texted that to her. She's like, where the fuck did you get that? I was like, I have my ways. I'm also trying to find my my grandfather Pop, who raised me like his own son. We're not blood related, but he's got family. I consider family.
Right.
So I've been going through that tree too, because I want to see where my grandpa comes from.
It might not be your bloodline, but it's your family line. It's
family.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sacrificed a lot to raise me, like his own son. But I talked to my cousins from that family, and we're comparing notes. My sister, she knows fucking everything. I shoot her a text. Hey, what about this, and that, and the other thing? And she fucking remembers it. So I'm like, thank God.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. I'm eager to see what the DNA test does. But we'll see. That's supposed to go back 6 generations and stuff like that. So, but I've always. I'm going to get a little heavy here. It's just I always wanted to know my dad's side of the family, because my dad, took off before I was even born. I never even met the guy. So, and I met his mom, and I met his aunt, Well, I call her aunt, I call her my aunt, but she's probably my great aunt or something like that. But I met them. I got photos of me with them when I was a baby. And it's like weird things you remember as a kid. I remember being held by either my mom or grandmom, and my grandmom from Minnesota walks in the door. She looks at me and she faints into the door because I look just like my dad.
Oh, wow.
Like I remember these like little things from my being a kid. It's like she, faints into the door and like, oh my God, he looks just like him.
Wow. Well, yes.
Like
I
always wanted that's what set off my journey, is learning about my dad and his. Mm-hmm. I can't find anything really. I found stuff with my dad's brother, and I got a photo. I'll show you that photo later. It's like we're like a spitting image, But
I looked up now on my ancestry thing. I'm sorry, it was not Max. This was Mo Shernoff.
Hey, Mo.
This is actually, I zoomed in on. This is actually his photo from when he was in the Marines. I don't know if you can see the eyebrows though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's straight up.
Here, I got my dad, who I don't know.
No, it's funny. I never knew this guy. He passed away in '97.
And I've
but I just didn't.
Cursed his name.
He lived out in California, so I didn't know him. But
like apparently, my dad was a high-ranking officer in the Navy.
Yeah.
Which, but I have a photo of him sort of like that in the full military uniform, which, so this is my dad's brother. Tell us we don't look alike, kind of.
Wow.
Even got the
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that thing. That dry upper lip smile. It's just like.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
It's so weird what I see when I look in the mirror, because I see my dad's face. I see my uncle's face. Mm. But then I got my grandmom's eyebrows, my nan's eyebrows. Because, like, my resting face, even with my resting face, people think I'm mad. Yeah. I'm just like, and people just think you mad? You okay? No, I'm fine.
Yeah. And then I'm fine sounds like you're pissed off too. No, I'm fine.
I'm fine. I'm good.
That was good.
Yeah. Yeah. But, that's what I've been going through, man. Just researching.
So cool though, man. Like it really is.
It is.
Hey, Sean Jones.
What up, buddy?
He's joining us now. What is this? Vanessa says sorry, Vanessa, I can't, it's small, so I'm trying to read. My late dad's third cousin is Francis Ford Coppola. Wow, okay.
Well, there you go. Start making some phone calls.
Yeah. Can you get us we need Meanie's his biography film.
Yeah.
No, but it's so cool. It really is cool to know where you came from. And sometimes, and I also respect the people who don't want to know where they came from. There are plenty of people who especially sometimes you'll have people who are adopted and they either very much want to know where they came from or couldn't care less. I have a friend who just, he's adopted, and as far as he's concerned, and rightfully so, his mom and dad are his mom and dad. It doesn't, blood doesn't.
That's like
doesn't
me
mean
with
shit,
my pop.
Yeah. And he just now, I don't think he ever really cared to find out. He looked at it and said, I don't care. This is my family. And, but then there are other people that I just as much understand who go, I want to know, like you're saying, like with your dad, like you didn't know him, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to know where you came from, and it's a fascinating, to me, it's a fascinating thing. I look at these people, like I just showed you that picture, that one guy, and he was, he was my great uncle. So, his existence didn't dictate my existence in any way, but, but his brother, my dad's dad, I never knew, but I look at pictures of him, and I look at pictures of my dad's mom, and these are people, and then you go back like these generations. We've got this guy who, like, the only thing Fred was able to find was that he died before 1908. Like, that was like all we don't even know when he was born, but it's like this old black and white photo of this guy. His name's like Gershon Dove. Like, it's like, we don't even know who, like, his full name or whatever, but you look at that guy and it's like, without that guy making a decision to marry who he married and have the children he had, I wouldn't be here. And it's this weird, like, everything that I have in my life, everything, I look at my children and all this stuff, and it's, you can trace it back to these people who just made a decision having nothing to do with anything. Like, we'll talk about how, like, I met my wife through a friend of a friend. And the only reason that I even knew that friend was because my brother met him. It's actually Matt Steffen, who was with me at one of he was the guy who was with me instead of Calvin in Baltimore at Starcast. Okay. So Matt's friend was neighbors with my wife and brought her to a show that I was doing, and that's how I met her. And then I met her again at Matt Steffen's wife's birthday party. And that's how I ended up meeting her. I only know Matt because my brother was doing theater and stuff, and a buddy of his was like, hey, they're doing a much better show over at Hatboro Horsham for summer theater. You want to do that instead of Upper Dublin? And my brother's like, sure, why not? Matt Steffen went to Hatboro Horsham. My brother met him, was friends with him for years. And through being friends with him, I kind of met him, found out his screen name was Sabu something or another. And I'm like, oh, you like wrestling? And years later, we become friends. And it's like, had that one guy not said to my brother, don't do the Upper Dublin summer theater program. Why don't you do the Hatboro Horsham one? I wouldn't have the children that I have today. Like, it's weird. And you can pick that apart. You can pick it apart and go, well, yeah, but, if you hadn't done this and you hadn't done that. But it's still, when you, like, look at things like that and go, some random guy having no thought of me whatsoever was like, I don't want to do the show at this school. I'll do it at this school. And I should tell Fred, because it would be fun to have some of my friends there. And fast forward all these years, because of that, I'm married to who I'm married to and have the children I have. It's weird. And that's why I'm fascinated by all this ancestry stuff. I'm glad you're looking into that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. It's just, you talk about, I met Mrs. Meanie on MySpace, I checked my messages, and there was a random message from a girl, and, hey, you like Art Bell? Cause I like the Art Bell radio show. I'm into UFOs, ghosts, all that stuff. And our conversation started from there, and then it graduated to AOL Instant Messenger. Then it graduated to telephone. And one day I said, "Fuck it, I'm driving up." I was like, drove up, hung out, and here we are. 16 years later, 15 years later.
I heard it was 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been
our
10
first 10 years.
10 years for the last 15.
Yeah. We don't have to. It's weird because we got together right as a year was changing. So 05 into 06 maybe. I don't know.
Here's the thing though, Meanie, if I can just interrupt that for a second.
Yes.
A lot of people might be hearing that story, especially now during the, the pandemic and all. They're talking online. They're waiting to meet each other, and one day they're going to be able to see each other in person. And when that happens, they're going to want to make sure that their balls are clean. And that brings us to the support that we have today from one of our great sponsors. You've seen them on the screen this whole time. Today's episode is brought to you by Manscaped. They are the best in men's below the waist grooming. I'm sorry that I used your relationship with Mrs. Meanie as a tie-in here, but it was perfect, and I hope that you'll forgive me for it. In the way that you don't have to worry about people forgiving you for having a bad bush down there, because if you go to manscaped.com and use the promo code Meanie20, you're good to go. See, Manscaped obsesses over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. And we have an exclusive offer for our listeners here on Mind of the Meanie. 20% off plus free shipping with the code Meanie20 at manscaped.com. Manscaped, so they hooked us up with a bunch of tools and formulations from their Perfect Package 3.0 kit that we want to show you a little bit right now. I have them in front of us. We have here, this is the Crop Reviver. It's a ball toner. It's refreshing with active pH control. It just kind of keeps your balls nice and toned. But what about the rest of the time when you don't want them to smell? Well, guess what? Crop preserver, ball deodorant right here. That's what we've got. But maybe most of all, Manscaped has created the best ball hair trimmer ever. It's the Lawnmower 3.0. Their third generation trimmer, Meanie, features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. Thanks to their advanced skin safe technology, I mean, I feel more confident than ever shaving the boys. But in addition to that, this trimmer comes with something really special. I mean, here it is. But check out what it comes with when you turn it on. I mean, you can hear it, but look at that.
Yeah, man.
That's an LED light. An LED light for extra precision when you're shaving down there. And it's waterproof, so you can do it in the shower. Keep it clean and easy. You don't have to use the same trimmer that you use for your face on your balls. That's nasty. That's disgusting. That's terrible. Don't do that. Do this. The Lawnmower 3.0 comes inside their brand new Perfect Package 3.0, which comes with everything you need to keep trimmed, cut-free, and smelling nice down there. Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0 also includes that crop preserver we talked about, which is an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits, so why are you not putting it on the smelliest part of your body, Meanie? Why? Why aren't you? And yeah, your balls stink, so put it on there. Speaking of sweaty and stinky balls, I'm thankful for the Crop Reviver. This product, along with Crop Preserver, keeps your balls from sweating and smelling and sticking. You know, Meanie and I sit for a long time. It's kind of our job here. We just sit and we stew in our own juices. And and that's why it's good to have these here to make sure that everything is smelling great. Manscaped threw in 2 free gifts into their Perfect Package as well. We've got right here a pair of high performance. Let's open them up. High performance boxer briefs that'll keep your junk feeling fresh all day long. It says Manscaped on them. Super comfortable. Nice little pouch for your oversized gimmick. And best of all, Meanie, we also have this travel shed bag to store all your grooming goodies. This is really high quality too. This is a nice bag here. So trim that junk of yours. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Meanie20 at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off free shipping with the code Meanie20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. When you use the code Meanie20, unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. And we thank them so much. Yeah, this is just fun. This is great.
Dude, Manscaped is the perfect package for your package.
Yeah.
I got mine in the mail this week, and yeah, man, it is no joke.
Yeah. Let me just show you how easy this is to
Let me stand on this brand new chair I just bought.
Yep. Here's for the audio listeners. Watch, everybody. Okay, so now you see the balls. And look at all the hair. It's gone. Look at that. Simple and easy.
Theater of the mind. You know, I popped myself when you said third generation technology. I was like, did they look up their ancestors too?
Yeah, their great-great-grandfather died of loss of blood from nicking their balls. But that doesn't happen.
That's the worst.
What?
Oh, well, back in the day, you know, when I was a young bachelor, you know, you always want to fucking impress. And, you know, you try to trim down there, and when those the teeth from the clippers fucking get you around the fucking yam bag, it's like,
that's it, man. That's
fucking crime scene.
And you said something interesting. You said when you were a bachelor, right? But here's the thing. Here's the thing, man. It's time. I know a lot of you are thinking to yourselves, like, look, I'm married. I don't need to try as hard. Try. They'll appreciate it.
The weather's warming up, and it's going to be humid.
You think your balls were sweating in the winter, pal?
Yeah, you don't want some fucking underwear full of French onion soup.
No, you don't need the old veritable forest down there. You need to trim that. Trim the hedges.
Yes, hedge your bets.
Yep.
Nah, seriously though, yeah, that I got that this week, and yeah. They weren't kidding, man. They really hook you up, man. That travel bag is really nice.
Yeah, it is.
Easy for storage in the bathroom. You just find your little spot on the shelf to keep all your grooming tools and stuff like that. And they've really put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, they have a whole lot of thought. And Meanie, they also have over here. Good sweet Lord. All right, they also sent this to kind of let you know what else they have. They've got a ball wipe called the Crop Mop. They've also got what we know about the crop. Here's Crop Cleanser, hair and body wash. And then we've got, we'll skip refined cologne so the rest of your body can smell as good as your balls. Here's the Plow 2.0. That's kind of that's for when you really want to get a clean, smooth cut. That's just it's extra refinement. But let's talk a little bit about from head to toe. The Foot Duster, 24-hour foot deodorant spray, an essential hygiene solution featuring tea tree oil to create a therapeutic cooling sensation for active lifestyles. We all know how Meanie feels about feet, so the least you could do.
The worst part of a body.
Hey, can we talk about feet for a minute? I sent you I sent you a picture the other day.
You motherfucker.
I don't know what's going on over with EC3's feet, but that man posted a picture and everybody instantly zoomed in on that foot.
There's a photo of Steven Tyler's feet, and that I was like, because people fucking like to rib me.
So I thought of you the other night. So when I was getting into bed. So I come up a little bit later. I'm usually down here in the Shernoff office editing or doing something, or whatever. So I go upstairs. My wife's just got TLC on, the channel TLC.
Oh, that's
and because she's obsessed with like the 600-pound sisters or whatever I don't know. She's always watching these things.
Yeah.
So, she was doing something on her phone. She's sitting in the bed. She's doing something on her phone. She's kind of pretty much waiting for my son to wake up because, the second she falls asleep, he's going to wake up. So she's like staying up to, be ready for him. The show comes on afterwards. It's called My Feet Are Killing Me.
Oh.
Dude, I almost threw up. I looked at what I'm going to say to you. This is not me trying to make you sick. This is me doing a public service announcement for you. Meanie, if you ever hear of or get wind of the fact that that TLC is on and that My Feet Are Killing Me are coming on or a commercial or anything, do not look at that television. It was the nastiest thing I have ever seen. It's apparently all about people whose feet are just, I don't understand who wants to watch this show. Like, I don't have the foot issue that you do, like the issue with feet. I don't. But holy crap, My Feet Are Killing Me on TLC is one of the most revolting things I have ever seen in my life.
That's saying something. I mean, even with a disgusting fucking show like Dr. Pimple Popper or whatever.
I would take a Dr. Pimple Popper all day long, twice on Sunday, over My Feet Are Killing Me. It was the most, like, here's basically the thing. If we were doing a live show and we go like, hey, as a rib, let's make Meanie throw up on stage, we would just show that on the screen. It is, we won't do that. It is horrible. I mean, you're talking tangled toes. You've got nails that I don't understand. They're so thick. They're so thick and long and twisted. It is terrible. Terrible. So don't check that out.
My asshole just puckered when you fucking said that. I was like, oh. Dude,
it's bad. I honestly, I walked upstairs and I had a feeling like right here. It's like the top of the abdominals, like below the pectorals. That spot right there.
It's like when you eat a sandwich too quick and that bread's stuck right in your fucking chest. You're like, oh.
But it was right there. I got this feeling like, I like legitimately got this feeling like I was going to be sick looking at this. Yeah. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Thank you.
Yeah. So something to think about. No, I'm warning you. I'm trying to warn you. Don't ever, because my first thought was, My Feet Are Killing Me. It's like, oh, maybe this is a show that teaches you about great foot massages and ways that you can, if you hit just the right point, it will relieve pressure in your neck. Like, one of those types of things. It's bad. A foot massage upsets you too, doesn't it?
No, not really.
No?
It's just people who like, it's just like those motherfuckers who like to put their feet up in the fucking windshield of their car while, their passengers drive. And it's like, put that fucking thing away.
Yeah.
Or, they hang their feet out the window. It's like with their fucking crinkle toes. It's like, put those things, they look like a crinkle fry.
Yeah.
It's just like, no one was fucking the word, or if you're on an airplane and somebody's fucking wearing fucking sandals and socks, exposed feet on the airplane. It's like, you nasty motherfucker.
Well, I mean, at least they'd have socks. I mean, sandals and socks is a whole other situation, but
yeah. I never. That's the big thing in South Philly. People wear the socks with their sliders. I'm like, that grosses me out too. It's like, dude, what if it starts raining and you got a wet sock on your foot? It's like, ugh. Or if you're walking through like high grass and you get grass foot, it's like, ugh.
I remember watching on one of those, there was like one of those like house flipping shows or something. And the people are coming in, they're talking about, and the one guy's like, I don't want the carpet. I don't want the carpet. And why? They're like, why? They're like, it's like the carpet's got the foot skins. Like, isn't it like, oh, it's got the foot skins from the other owners. So then like instantly I'm like, well, I need to get my carpets cleaned and, and replaced. But
then you should probably never stay at another hotel room ever again.
Oh my God. It's
imagine the people cleaning up a hotel room day after Valentine's Day.
Oh,
February 15th.
Black light on that room.
Yeah, they turn the fucking blue light on and the fucking bulb just explodes.
Hey, I was talking about, changing carpets and things like that. We've got a lot of, I've had construction going on in my house for quite a while now. Kitchen's coming together. They put the they put the cabinets in. I still am waiting for when they're going to have to cut a hole in my wall here, which they said to code they have to have an access point, which, it's a pain in the ass. But
what, like a doorway to the outside for your basement?
No, so they've got, in the new part of so right now my wall goes to what used to be right upstairs was the wall in the kitchen. Well, now we extended it. They had to dig out a crawl space. We thought it was going to be a tiny little crawl space. They did not communicate well. It's like a 4 foot deep crawl space. So it's like they have to put this access point like up on my wall to be able to get up into it. But we actually think we might be able, like they said, they're like, it's big enough that if you get in there, you could put some shelving and store stuff in there. So we're kind of like trying to figure out what to do. We really wish they would have told us. They were like $11,000 more they would have been able to dig it out to be a full basement. And if we had known they were already going so low, like not that I wanted to spend $11,000 more, but you kind of do the math over like, you know, it's not a lump sum. Like, yeah, you start to kind of think to yourself, maybe this would have been worth it to have this enormous basement. But then there's the cost of actually then having to finish that enormous basement. And, you know, and it would have just been so much. But so hopefully we'll be able to store some stuff. But, dude, it has been brutal. Like, as we had originally, when they were doing our kitchen, we moved everything into the laundry room. And then they started doing the laundry room. We had to move everything into our dining room. Like, we have no space anywhere. And so now, like, my wife will be like, you know, she'll always be like, hey, can you grab it or whatever? And I'm like, where is it? She's like, it's over there, like, in, like, the room. And, like, I'm walking around looking at these things. I've literally found myself Vincent Vega-ing around the room. Do you know what I mean? I'm walking into the room and I'm just walking around. Like, you know, for anyone who doesn't get that reference, it's Pulp Fiction. And there's that meme that goes around of John Travolta was Vincent Vega. He just walks when he's walking in and he's just like looking around, like, where am I? Where is everything? That's what that is my life now. I am just Vincent Vega-ing, which, you know, it could be worse. I could be Savia Vega-ing. I don't know. But
it all comes back to wrestling.
It all comes back to wrestling. But anyway, so so things have been a little hectic and crazy. What do I have? Do I have any coffee left? I got a little coffee.
I'm still waiting for my fucking coffee to cool down over here. It's just like,
yeah.
I want coffee. I need to wake up because I slept really good last night.
Yeah.
Like, I went to bed, and then the next thing you know, I'm up. Time to get up. You know, like there wasn't like that in between period where you have to get up, go, you know, piss 3 dozen times, and then go back to bed. But like, it's like, I just slept like a brick. Just like, whoa.
You know, there's like pluses and minuses to that. There really is, because it's like, it's great to not be up all the time, but then I feel like you don't get to enjoy that like life break of sleeping. You know what I mean? Like you want, I always hated that with like school. Like it went back in like high school and stuff. Like you'd wake up and be like, oh my God, like how like I just closed my eyes. How is it time to go to school? Like I need some time to unwind.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like, and there's like always the thing, like the other night I could not fall asleep. And Tracy knows when I'm awake. You know, she could feel it, you know, like,
she knows when you were sleeping. She knows when you're awake. She knows when you've been bad or good.
But dude, yeah, and she's like, you know, she just reaches over and, you know, pats me on the head, and it just knocks me out like if you ever had a puppy or whatever, you rub them and it just like slowly, That's what she does to me, and and then I'm out like a light. She pets me like I'm a puppy. I'm just like, you know, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, this morning, I don't even know what I was thinking, because I know we had what time we were supposed to record, and like I had my alarm set for like a half hour before that. I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? You know, I was like, you know, we do the show, and like I break my shit down and put it over in the corner room, and we still have a room,
right?
And I was like, dude, I got to set up. What was that? Luckily, my internal clock gets up at the same fucking time every day. I'm always beating the alarm. But if I slept a little bit longer, I probably would have been setting up like right up until we had to hop on here.
Oh man,
son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's I actually was sleeping. It was great. So my son woke up like extra early, the little one, and my wife, he just turned 9 months actually, yesterday, and my wife like brings him into the bed, and then he just like fell asleep. So I had fallen asleep. I woke up, I roll over, And here's this little guy just sleeping. He was like sound asleep next to me. I'm like, holy crap, I don't want to move now or he's going to wake up. And I'm like, then like the kids, they'll run in at some point and I'm like, shh, it's like everyone be quiet. Everyone, we have a chance to sleep. We could even sleep until 7 today. It could be amazing. Like, dude, I was one of those people in college. Like I would sleep until like 2:30 in the afternoon. So like this is not a life I ever could have imagined. But
but hey, reminded me.
Yeah. Oh no, go.
Al Snow used to room with Bob Holly, and Bob Holly was notorious for getting up at like 5 a.m. and wanting to go to the gym, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So Al said, like, one time he got up in the middle of the night to take a piss, and like he heard fucking Bob stirring asleep, and he just froze like. Because he didn't want to wake up Bob, and Bob goes, "Oh, let's go to the gym."
Oh, jeez.
It's like he slowly went to the bathroom. It was like a Navy SEAL operation. Snuck into the bathroom, took a piss, and crawled back. Yeah, did the Navy SEAL crawl back to the fucking bed? Not disturb Bob because he wanted to sleep a little bit longer. He just clung to the wall like Ivy, just like.
Dude, I will do that with my wife in this, like, because she's always like the one who's like up first and having to be like, all right, come on, time to get up. Yeah. But if she sleeps in, she'll sometimes be like, well, why didn't you wake me? I didn't, and I'll just be like, oh no, I was sound asleep. But there'll be sometimes I'll wake up and I'll see her sleeping. And I'll just be like, oh, thank God. And I'll just close my eyes and go back to sleep and be like, she's not up to wake me up yet. So, and then the kids come in. But, hey, I want to, we talked a little bit about our good friend Andy Slichter.
Yes.
Knocking it out of the park with some great new T-shirts over at ProWrestlingTees.com. They haven't made it into our commercial yet, but I think it's important that we tell everybody about everything else we have. And then when we come back, we'll tell you about what all the new stuff. So let's take a look at some of the shirts we have over at ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Get your Mind of the Meanie shirts at ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. We have the Mind of the Meanie logo tee, the Mind of the Meanie badge, Meanie Toons, Meanie Burger, 3 seltzers deep, Meanie Gas, Wreck Every Bathroom and Leave, Meanie Screwing Up the YMCA, Alternative Commentary, Podcast Faces, and so much more. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Awesome shirts for sure. And we've got these new great ones that are up there now. There's like all new. Slichter like went nuts and created all these new shirts.
Save some for the honeymoon there, Slichter.
Yeah, it's amazing. We've got. Let me see what kind of shirts we have over there. Well, we talked about the one, the new one that from your car breaking down. That was awesome. Hey, we also heard rumor that we're gonna have stickers coming soon to Pro Wrestling Tees. They contacted us like, hey, you want some stickers? We're like, yeah,
big fan of stickers.
Why not? Who doesn't? Who doesn't want stickers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have some cool ones. Let's see, some new things. I'm seeing on Pro Wrestling Tees, Off of the Wild Samoan has a new page. That's fun. Okay. Here we go. Here's some great ones. We've got the Mind of the Meanie, Never Timely. Looks like the Back to the Future.
Yes.
That's awesome. We finally have Yo Cuz, you got the creams and sugars. That shirt's up there.
Yo Cuz, you got the creams and sugars.
Wednesday night tiddlywinks, tongue lashing in a t-shirt. They had gold in their hands and they shit on it. We've got that Monger Man, the Shernoff. There's so many great ones here. And then of course we're offering 2 different types of shirts. These are special. For the person who only wants to buy it once, we have the new Meanie Mania shirt. Where it just says Meanie Mania on it. Super cool, excited for that. But then we have the full-on Meanie Mania, Mind of the Meanies, Meanie Mania post-show extravaganza, April 10th and 11th, 2021. That's the collector's item. That's the one you want because we have April 10th and 11th, Meanie Mania, the post-show extravaganza on FITE, on Facebook, and on youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie. Meanie, I am so excited for this show. This is going to be both nights. We're going to do a post-show after WrestleMania. We've told FITE that it's going to be an hour, so it's probably going to be 3 or 4. We're just going to keep going. We're going to talk about everything. Mrs. Meanie's going to pop in there, and she's going to talk to us about the greatest attire of the evening, the top 5 best wrestling gear of that evening. So that's going to be really exciting to have her on there. And I think we'll have some other guests pop by.
Well, she'll also have a backup of best ring gear ever, just in case that gear sucks that night.
Yeah. Yeah. It can't
you gotta
suck.
you gotta have a bet. What's that?
It's not going to suck. It can't. Nah. This is their first time. You know, everybody had their gear that they got to show off at the Performance Center last year. So hopefully they're going all out this year.
Well, I'm just saying you got to have a reserve shoot just in case.
Oh yeah, no, that's.
But dude, I'm very excited for this. Again, thank you to FITE for the opportunity.
Yes.
To do this, like I say, airtime is valuable, and for them to give us 2 nights, 2 hours to talk about the spectacle, which is WrestleMania, which is going to be the first WrestleMania in the apocalypse to have a live audience. So I guess the Super Bowl was the test run.
I guess so. And there's been all this rumor. It's like WWE. It's like they're going to have 25,000 people a night, 35,000 people a night, 45,000 people a night. They want to have 60,000 people a night. I don't know how many people are going to be there. I hope the people are vaccinated and safe. Yeah. If you're going to go, take care of yourself. Take care of the people around you. You want to go to WrestleMania. Nobody wants to get sick. No. Everyone got sick a couple years ago at WrestleMania. Do you remember that? I somehow didn't. But it was the one that was in Jersey.
Yeah, you're triggering a memory. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it was like the WrestleMania flu. Like everybody got sick, and that's the thing that can happen when you have an enormous group of people and they're all there and they're all shaking hands and they're all in the same venue. So everybody just be safe. And I am looking forward to Meanie. I'm looking forward to Texas next year.
Yeah, that'll be the good. That we should be back to normal. Yeah, fully back to normal back then.
And I mean, what better place than Texas? I mean, is there a better place handling this COVID pandemic than Texas? Come on, that's where you want to be. But no, we should be by then. Hopefully, I hope so. We should be there, and I expect to be there. And I expect to be there with you, Meanie. So if you're planning to be there for another booking, sucks for you because you're going to be there with us. No, I want to be there. We'll do some stuff with FITE TV. We'll do some stuff with everybody there. We're going to be all over the place.
I'm sure we'll be at WrestleCon.
Yeah, that's the plan. You're going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Like we're going to have all kinds of.
Hey,
let's do it. I'm booking it right now.
I got the tattoo.
But I think it's going to be a lot of fun when that happens. And what better place to return full time than Texas, where it's going to be the largest WrestleMania gathering? They're going to I wouldn't be surprised if they make their set like the old school neon WWF set, just so that they can fit extra people in. So this can be the absolute largest WrestleMania ever. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. But hey, Meanie.
Yes.
Mr.
Shernoff.
A lot of people had a lot of questions for you. How do you feel about asking?
Do they now?
Some of those.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
It's time to ask me anything. Ask me something.
All right. It's time. First question. Ask Meanie anything comes to us from Chris at ChrisWD2009. What were some of the biggest mistakes Josh and the Blue Meanie have seen rookie wrestlers make in the locker room? Not shaking hands with other wrestlers, for an example.
Well, I guess the biggest one would be mass transit.
That was a bad one. It was a bad.
Yeah, don't sit next to Taz and light up a cigarette. Yeah, just don't go up to the gangsters with, say, hey, this is what we're going to do. So, yeah, that was that was a bunch of mistakes on the epic proportion. But, yeah.
There was a guy when I was down in OVW. A guy that I actually knew strongly dislike, but actually knew him from around here. And he came down to OVW, and I don't know, he was a big guy, he was a big guy. And so instantly I remember he walks in and they're all like, oh my God, he could be the next Batista. Aside from the fact that he didn't look like Batista, he was just big and he had no talent. But he shows up, and in a lot of ways, it's the way that you always talk about how I represent you, you represent Al. Well, because he knew me before, he came in, he's like, oh yeah, I'm really good friends with Josh. And so people were like, what the, who is this guy? And then they kept going to me, the same thing, yeah, your boy's doing this, that, or the other. And I'm like, yeah, I worked with him at a gym. I know if I'm not, this guy is, no friend of mine. But there were a couple of things. One was he would just say whatever the hell he wanted when we were in the car, when we were going to shows and stuff. And I'd always be dude, just shut up. Don't talk. Don't, because you're brand new here. Just keep it quiet. This was near the end of my being there. I should say he was there for 3.5 weeks and then he went home and he couldn't cut it, couldn't handle it. And that's fine. Some people can't, and it is what it is. Yeah. But he came in there, and the one thing I'll never forget, Cody Rhodes came down. He was up on the main roster, but he came back to visit. I guess maybe he was still living there. But he came in to visit, and it was celebration of his final night. And I remember, Cody gave this really great speech to everyone after the show. And it was really special. The locker room, not the fans and everything. And he told some things that I won't repeat on here because it was a lot. He talked about a lot of personal things, and it was really, really cool to be able to kind of be a fly on the wall at that. And Cody invited everyone, he invited the people he knew out to dinner that night. And he's like, it's on me, we're doing that. He didn't tell us that just yet. He's like, invite out to dinner. And so I was kind of well, I'm not going, he doesn't mean me. And to his credit, he's like, you coming? And I'm like, hey, that's really awesome. I really appreciate that. So this guy, Mike, is like, hey man, you think I can come too? And I'm like, look, I didn't invite you, whatever. He went and then asked somebody else, hey, can I come with? And oh yeah, so-and-so said I could come. So then we go out to eat. And
I'm getting anxiety just listening to this.
Yeah, we go out to, and I'm the whole thing, I'm just, and Cody announces to everybody at the table, he's like, hey, get whatever you want. It's on me tonight. And it's and that's, if anyone knows Cody Rhodes, and people have gotten to see that more as you've seen him through AEW and all, this is his personality. He's a generous guy. He likes to take care of the people around him. I got a salad because I was I think I got a salad with a little grilled chicken on it. I tried to find something that was a meal, but as cheap as I possibly could find.
Right.
The other guy, I'm not even going to say his name. I'm not even saying this other guy's name. You don't know him. He's not in the business at all. Like I said, 3 weeks and he was out. Got a steak.
Oh.
Everyone is looking at him, and then everyone is looking at me. And it's exactly like what you had said about the reputation. Could you imagine who would they have looked at had you done something like that back in the day? They would have looked at Al.
Yeah.
Al,
what's up with your boy?
Exactly. And I look over and I'm like, dude, what the because I didn't know he wasn't sitting right next to me, so I didn't know what he ordered till the food came. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's he just had no idea. And so, that's a story to me that always, and thank God he left. And when he left, I'll be honest, I kind of buried him in the sense of just I was like, look, I knew the dude from before. We were friends. Like, we were friendly, we worked together at a gym, and like, yeah, I kind of knew he was, but I don't vouch for him one bit. Like, I never was like, oh dude, like, yeah, he's my guy here. And it was embarrassing and it was frustrating. And those 3 weeks that he was there felt like 3 years.
I can imagine.
But that was kind of, he was very in the locker room talking to everyone. Like, they say eyes and ears open, mouth shut. He was the opposite of that. And so that's, one of those examples. And I actually want to, since I'm talking about OVW, Meanie, if I can for 1 second. So last week I told a story about a guy named Bin Hameen. And I talked about him, and I said some things about how, the guy didn't know shit and he didn't know that. And I kind of, and I did say, I don't know, that was back then. I don't know how it is today or whatever. But what I will say is, Bin Hameen reached out to me afterwards.
Right.
He has a podcast network that he does, and is apparently very successful with it. He reached out to me, and there are a lot of ways someone can reach out to somebody. It can be like, hey man, I heard you talking shit. Hey, he reached out and said, I was really sorry to hear that you thought that of me. I didn't realize, and I actually, and the big thing is, he said, he's like, I always thought highly of you. I always thought you were respectful. And I looked at that and I said, like, you know what? Like good on him. Like that's what a grown up does. And I wrote back to him and I said, hey, I apologize for kind of shooting on you a little bit. Like that wasn't cool. And I said to him, but here's why. Because here's how I felt you felt about me. And we had a little back and forth. And I'm happy to say at the end of the conversation, it's all water under the bridge.
Very cool.
I think we both kind of learned a little bit about a valuable lesson of, I perceived him one way because of how I felt he thought about me. Maybe I was right. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was giving him too much heat for how I felt about people he associated with. But it was a valuable lesson that I learned here, even at 37 years old. I can still learn a lesson every once in a while. And it was a valuable lesson that, like, it wasn't fair the way I categorized him. And also, I gave him kind of a hard time of like, unfairly too, because I don't know what his experience was. I had always heard he took an acting class and basically got himself the book. And the reality of it is, A, I don't know if that's entirely true. Maybe he had a lot more experience, but B, let's say he had no experience. Again, good on him, man. I mean, I'm not going to act like I wouldn't have taken the book had they given me that opportunity. He got himself a great position, as he should have. So we had a really good back and forth conversation. I really appreciated him reaching out in the way he did. I appreciate him reaching out saying, hey, you said some stuff kind of upset me, and it upset me to know that that's what you thought of me. And that gave me the opportunity to go, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was out of line. And so I just wanted to throw that out there. And I wanted to say, if he's listening to this, thank you for reaching out to me in a mature adult way, and allowing me to step back and listen back and say, you know what, maybe that wasn't cool on my end to say what I said. But I will echo what I said last time, which is I wish him nothing but the best. Who knows, maybe we'll have the opportunity to work together one day and cross paths in a great way. And it makes me feel good knowing that here's a guy that I held this animosity towards for over a decade, that I didn't even know I held this animosity towards until talking about it. But he reached out with that olive branch, and I just really appreciated that. So I wanted to take the opportunity to say that and to thank him for doing that. And I hope he's doing well. with all of his ventures. And it's a great lesson to learn, man, like in life in general. It's okay to not see eye to eye with somebody. It's okay to have a bad opinion of somebody, but it's also okay to look at yourself in the mirror and go, maybe I was a little too stiff-ski, as they say. Maybe I didn't take into consideration his point of view. Maybe I didn't, maybe I saw it from where I was, and didn't see it the way that I should have. So again, I appreciate that. And I just wanted to, it just made me think of it when we were talking about OVW. I just wanted to mention that. And, so to Bin Hameen, thank you for reaching out. And thank you for respectfully calling me on my shit. That's, I'm not above being called on something and being able to have that conversation. So thank you for that. Just wanted to say that.
Well, it's a lesson for everybody, really, or any situation where, you don't know what somebody's going through at a moment or stuff like that. And, in a way, that's kind of like what happened when me and JBL got into our room and after our thing at One Night Stand, and we got in the room and talked. And sometimes, people get a different perspective,
Yeah, and I know it's not the sensational thing that people want it to be. I know people still desperately want to believe that you and JBL hate each other and that this is a blood feud for the ages, and it's just not, and
we gotta get him on here someday.
I would love to get him on. He's got a new show coming out with Gerald Briscoe.
They got a YouTube channel.
So I'd love to get him on at some point.
But like you said, just talking things out. Yeah. We're in a day and age where people are more likely to put out a sensational tweet or any kind of social media post to get that oh shit kind of thing.
I mean,
it takes something to on both people's part to pull back. Okay. Yeah. Let's have a conversation and talk about it.
There have been people over the years, especially because it's the wrestling business. There were people over the years that I just didn't care for. And years later had an opportunity to talk to them, and you learn about them and you learn about who were they at that time? What were they going through? And I mean, there's one guy specifically that I think of now as someone I couldn't have more respect for this guy. Really like him and consider him a friend. And back then was like, not a fan of this guy. So, and guess what? I am sure that there are a lot of people who felt that way about me. You talk about people who did something in a locker room that they shouldn't have. I'm sure there is a locker room somewhere in the world that I walked into and said something or did something in the way that Meanie sat in a first class seat in an airplane where you didn't mean any harm, but you did something that kind of broke, the code. And more questions here, Meanie. Dan Rackley wants to know, is Steve's Prince of Steaks superior to Pat's and Gino's?
I don't know if I've ever had Steve's.
I don't think I have.
Pat's and Gino's is okay.
They're not the best ones. They're really not. No. People think they are, but they're not.
No, they got the best advertising and then the best location because apparently that corner is where the cheesesteak was invented. Where Pat's and Steve's.
Really? I didn't know that.
Gino's. Yeah. Supposedly that's the corner where the cheesesteak was invented. So.
How do you invent was somebody just like, I'm going to.
Well, I mean, there was steak, but then
I'll carve up this steak and put some cheese on it. I guess that's.
Yeah, just too thin. Yeah.
Someone had to be the first.
Slice it up. Yeah, somebody had to be there first. But apparently that's the folklore for that corner where they're at. Excuse me.
You're excused.
I don't think I've ever had the other one. Well,
now you got something to do this weekend.
Yeah. There's a
Steve's Prince of Steaks. Check them out.
Yeah, you could throw a rock in land on the cheesesteak place in South Philly. So there's so many of them. Just South Philly. There's steak joints all over the city.
Yeah.
But
This question comes from Jonathan Chambers. Have either of you been involved in a show where the ring broke in some way? Now, you've told stories about when the rope broke, but...
Yeah. I wasn't... I've definitely been on shows where shit's happened to the ring. I did a show for Dan Severn, and something happened, and the boards came apart. And before they could fix it, I took like an arm drag, and my elbow went in between the boards and hit, like a beam, and you're feeling that one for like a month.
Yeah,
but
geez.
Most famously, I was at a show. I wasn't on the show. I went to the show because Al was on it. Sabu and Too Cold Scorpio were wrestling on a show in Michigan, and this just got uploaded to YouTube. And they went to do, I want to say, like a superplex, and the side beam. It was a wooden ring, so the side beam went like that.
Ooh.
And the whole ring, kind of like Brock Lesnar. And, when Brock Lesnar, Big Show, did the thing and the ring goes, it did that, but with the side beam. And they still continued the matches, still try to run spots. And, they improvised, like what you would do in that situation. But, that's probably like the biggest thing I've been around when a ring broke. Of course, like I said, I hit the ropes the one time and the ring snapped.
Yeah.
The rope snapped, and I had to, I sold like I got shot by a bazooka. I just died, and took the pin 1, 2, 3 right there.
I never had it on the show I was working, but I was at a WWWA show with everyone's favorite Dino Santa.
Dino Santa, baby.
And I went to that show, and the ring just like kind of collapsed in the middle of it. Like it went like kind of maybe like what you're talking about. And the Wolfman, do you remember the Wolfman?
Yes.
He's like still going. I think he's on his retirement tour or something now.
He was infamous at ECW shows for sweeping up the ring, and the crowd would just howl at him.
Well,
he would do jobs in the early ECW, yeah.
The Wolfman was on the card, and I have a photograph somewhere of him. He came.
The Wolfman's got nards.
He came out to fix the ring, and he's like under there trying to like lift stuff back up because I think it like the post like slid out or something, something like that. So he's in there trying to fix it. And I've got a picture of him trying to fix it, and that man's ass is just straight up hanging out of his shorts. He's just bent over, just his ass just right there, and we're front row. Front row, there were 2 rows, but we're front row. And I snapped a picture. This was, I think, early 2000s. So I was like 17, I guess.
Anytime somebody's ass crack
17.
sticking out, anytime somebody's ass crack sticks out, I just grab a penny and put it right in their fucking ass crack like it's a coin slot.
So here's the best part, though, with these. Here's the best part with these photos, though. This is back in the day, man. This was a camera that I had to take the film to get developed. This isn't like so that's kind of the fun of that. But but that's I remember the ring breaking then, and I was like, oh, that's not good. Yeah. Hey, Bob A. Bowie at GoPad69 writes, are there any other wrestlers or bands that you and Stevie thought about mimicking as the BWO, but it just never happened?
Nah, we did every parody except for the only parody we didn't do was Sabu and Rob Van Darn, which we had talked about in past episodes.
That has to happen.
Well, it depends on Sabu and Van Dam. But yeah, we were supposed to be Sabu and Rob Van Darn. And as far as bands, nah, not really. Now we just did Kiss, and that was it.
Yeah.
Well, Kiss was like, the perfect band to do because they're such a pro wrestling gimmick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, no. Sorry. I was fishing for a good answer because I appreciate the question, but yeah, no.
How low down are you right now? I'm looking at our screen, and this I feel like Tony Schiavone in the Nitro days.
I just this chair's really comfortable, so I was just like,
just lean
back.
Archival engineer at ArcEng9154644. Your license plate is blocking the door.
Good callback.
Do you think shoot interviews and wrestling podcasts have become more popular than professional wrestling itself? That's a great question.
It is. In a way, yeah. But I mean, shoot interviews have been around since the 90s.
But thinking about wrestling podcasts, I mean, here would be my thought on it, Meanie, and then we'll
I think podcasts have killed shoot interviews in a way. You know, why do a shoot interview when you can just talk about it on your podcast? You know?
Well, that's the thing. What's somebody going to hire you now? Like you've done them in the past, but what's someone going to hire you now for a shoot interview?
Yeah, I know. Shout out to Sean Oliver, who had kayfabe commentaries. He, kind of, I don't know if he gave up on it, but once, Conrad started doing his podcast and basically doing the same line of, topics. Kayfabe commentaries really, I think he sold his library, Oh,
wow.
And he was doing some great stuff. I think Sean Oliver went into the podcast game. But I think he does true crime. So,
oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think. So I think that if you look at the metrics of it, if you look at the amount of people, I think that you would find more people are watching WWE, for instance, or even AEW than are listening to even the most successful wrestling podcasts. But on the flip side, I think depending on who the fan is, I right now, currently in my life, I would say I am a bigger fan of wrestling podcasts than I am of the actual wrestling product. Nothing can ever replace my love for pro wrestling and what it is. But I'll tell you, if a show comes out, and it depends on the episode or whatever, but I'm far more inclined to carve out time to listen to a podcast than I am to necessarily tune into Raw.
Yeah.
And it's all about interest. And that's the thing too. If you look at any of the podcasts, we experience this. I know Conrad experiences this. If Conrad has one hey, we're doing this episode on, some Saturday night's main event from 80, whatever, or we're doing this episode on, Shawn Michaels 1997. Well, I feel like Shawn Michaels 1997 is going to get a lot more downloads because people are really interested. And, it's so I think it all kind of depends, but I definitely think it's become an aspect in the same way that the WWE Network, I am most excited with the network when they come out with documentaries. More so than when they're here's we've got a extra NXT, match here to watch. And I'm no, I'll check out the new Big E documentary instead,
Which was excellent.
Yeah. So, but great question though.
Yeah. Very, very great question.
Let's see what else we have here. If we have anything else. I know. Anthony Camarada. Good question here. Does it make you mad when you hear someone point out wrestling as fake or not real?
It's because it's stupid. I don't watch that TV show because it's not real.
Mm-hmm.
I watch wrestling because it's not real, but let me go watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you're not going to watch something because it's not real, then throw your fucking TV out the window. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I think you're right. It's because it's always said in a derogatory way.
Yeah.
Because
like,
nobody ever goes like, oh man, you know what I love? Like, I love the Marvel movie. Like, I know it's all fake, but dude, Captain America was so good. But like, I mean, obviously it's not real. You know, they're just actors and CGI. But dude, it was such a great movie. Like, that doesn't happen. You just go, that was an amazing movie. I love that movie. Did you see the fight scenes? Did you see like that?
Right.
You know, and that's the thing with wrestling. Nobody goes like, oh my God, that match was amazing. Like, I mean, obviously it's fake, but man, that was so good. Like, no, you only say it's fake or not real when you're trying to take it down a peg. Or
you're trying to make yourself look more sophisticated. Like, people are afraid to let themselves go and just enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the best, I forget who said this. I wish I could give him credit, but like, somebody say, "Oh, watch wrestling. That bullshit's all fake and shit." But then they'll tell you the last 10 angles from that happened. Just
I don't watch that stuff. Did you see last week though?
Yeah. I always loved the people. I'm never going to watch wrestling again until I watch it next Monday night on USA Network.
Or the people who are like, I'm canceling the WWE network because I don't support, because that pay-per-view is terrible. And then the next month they're like, yeah, not a bad match in this one. It's like, well, how'd you watch it? Well, I mean, I signed back up for the network. You know, I wanted to check out this one thing on the. It's like, dude, just come on. Although I am not looking forward to this week trying to figure out how to get the Peacock thing going.
I was messing around with the Peacock for a little bit.
Yeah, but dude, that's not appropriate for the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about things, man, but here you go.
It's like, I dropped my guitar pick.
I was going to say, when you want to mess around with your Peacock, make sure, if you want someone else to mess around with your Peacock, make sure that you go to manscaped.com and use the promo code Meanie20 to get 20% off and free shipping and grab yourself one of these lawnmower 3.0s.
As you stand over your trash can in the kitchen, shaving your bush. Why is the mailman in the window?
Oh man, I got one more question here. Comes from RJ Krasinski. What are you looking forward to more, NCAA basketball tournament or opening day of the MLB?
MLB. I like college sports. Well, I'm lying. I watch when like something big's happening, but I really don't follow college sports. Like yesterday, I watched some of the games, and I guess apparently I picked the right one with Ohio State because the guy went for a 3-point shot and the ball got stuck between the net and the glass.
You sent me that, yeah.
And Iron Eagle goes, overtime wedgie. And I was like, oh my God, I need that soundbite. Yeah, I really don't watch college sports. I guess basketball's better than football as far as college goes. Because like anytime I try to watch college football, it's like the score's always like 55-3, or it's like, oh, why did I just watch that? But yeah, MLB. I like baseball. I'll definitely be into it. You know, I'm glad the Phillies are looking okay.
Yeah.
So far, preseason, spring training. So we'll see. The Phillies just need a bullpen, really.
Yeah.
They were getting runs last year, but then the bullpen would the Phillies would be up like 9-3, and then the bullpen, somebody
Just
comes in from the bullpen and it coughs up all the runs, and then they lose.
And coughing up the runs, that's a rough one.
That's the name of this week's episode, coughing up the runs. Write it down now so we're not fucking trying to figure this out later.
Coughing up the runs.
Let people figure that one out.
Hey, you know what? I said that was the last question, but I got two more. Because
I shouldn't have had that last double egg. I'm coughing up the runs.
Oh man. Yeah, that's when you're like,
oh man, I'm coughing up the runs.
Yep. Let me cough up the runs here. All right. Now, Mark and Dryden asked 2 questions, and he always asks some great questions, so I wanted to hit these up, and they were pretty cool. The first one was, what are your guys' views on AJ Lee and Tenelle Dashwood? What do you think about their contributions to wrestling, and have you guys ever met or have any good stories about either of them? I've never met AJ Lee. I have met Tenelle Dashwood super briefly. It was like, hi, I'm Josh. It's like, hi, Tenelle. That was that. I loved AJ Lee. Was always a huge fan of her. Tenelle Dashwood, I was fine. Never really got into like the whole character or whatever. But AJ Lee, I always loved. Would love to see her come back. What about you, Meanie?
I apologize if I have, but I don't think I've ever met AJ Lee. I've been in the same room with her. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I went to a TV taping. I went to a SmackDown a couple years ago, mm-hmm. and I like our pass. We were like 2 ships in a hallway, just pass.
Yeah.
I did a brief skit with Tenelle Dashwood as Emma.
Yeah.
JBL had me on the JBL and Cole show, and Heath and Emma were doing this thing. They had been doing this thing for a little while, like awkward like conversations or whatever. And we did a thing where I just like happened to walk in the background. I did the meanie dance and walked out, and it was like a brief hello, mm-hmm. And
I mean, I have no, I have no reason to think anything bad of her in any way. I just,
they're over.
Yeah.
Speaking of a great following.
Speaking of a woman who is over, his other question was, what do you guys think about Molly Holly being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? She was criminally underrated in ring, if you asked me. Check out SmackDown from March 21st, 2002 for her taking a clothesline from Brock. I don't even remember that, but I love Molly Holly. I only met her one time. I posted that picture on social media, and everybody had comments about my hair. But she and I were both blondes back then. But she could not have, when I met her that day, and that was one time, we are not friends. I don't know her, but I will say to this day, I remember she could not have been a sweeter human being than she was on that day. And I watched also, it was post 9/11 in New York. It was shortly after 9/11. And it was her and Hurricane and Stacy Keibler. And that's the first time I met all 3 of them. And I went with Bill Apter, just kind of along for the ride. And it was like a children's, it was like they were reading to kids, is basically what this was. And just seeing her interacting with the kids, seeing her interacting with anyone else, the staff that was there, it was just, and when I met her, just a like absolute sweetheart of a person was my impression of her. And everything I've ever heard from anyone else who actually knows her, I've heard the same thing. So, but that was my one experience, and it's really cool when you have one experience with somebody and it's that good. But I could not be happier for her. I don't think there is anyone more deserving to be in the Hall of Fame than her.
Oh, what a beautiful human being she is. And she might have been too good for the wrestling business. I don't think the wrestling business deserves such a kind and sweet person. I got to spend some time with her in 2007. We did this convention in San Francisco, which to this day we call the San Fran Fiasco. Like a whole bunch of wrestlers got booked for this convention and show and stuff. But she showed up, to this convention, and nobody showed her where to have her table. She didn't know anything, She just showed up, and that's how well organized this fucking thing was. So I was like, look, come over to my table. There's a table by me. Come sit with me, blah, 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 blah. And this promotion had done up some 8x10s or whatever, and they were selling them, and the boys were supposed to sign them. And, like, things were going so bad, I just said, fuck it. I took the 8x10s, and I just started selling them for myself. And I think I went and got her 8x10s for her to sign. And this is back when Polaroid was still a thing, and fans were wanting to take photos with her, and she had no way to take photos. I just gave her my camera. I was like, look, take the camera, take the film, keep the gimmick money, whatever.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, we just had like a really cool day today, day together. And this, it wasn't me putting myself over saying I gave her a camera, but she was so nice that she didn't want to cause a fuss.
Mm-hmm.
Like a normal person would be like, what the fuck is going on here? She's like, I don't know. Is somebody supposed to take it? I was like, look, here's my camera. So I was doing okay for myself over at my other table.
Mm-hmm.
At my table, like it's like this L shape. I had one side, she had the other. I was like, look, just take it. This thing's a shit show. Just get what you can,
Yeah.
And it worked out that way. But we got to spend the afternoon with her. Total sweetheart, such a nice person, excellent person, and it speaks volumes to when Shane Helms goes to breaks the news to her, and he's in tears. He's in tears because he's so happy to tell her the news. So
no,
kudos.
Very, very excited for her.
Hall of Fame human being.
Yeah. Hey, I also, hey, congrats to Eric Bischoff, our family member over at adfreeshows.com.
Absolutely.
Very cool of him. It's perfect. I didn't understand why he wasn't included in the NWO last year until now. Now I understand it, because the reality is he's much more than the NWO, and he deserves to go in on his own. Last thing I want to show here, Meanie, is this incredible Shown Cold, at Shown Cold, posted this today. One of those little apps. Did you see this, Meanie?
No.
You haven't seen this yet?
No.
They used the picture of your...
Hey, easy with the song. We don't get.
I know. I'm talking over it, but I'll get rid of it. But it's the... I'm blue dabba dee dabba die. It's this wombo.ai, which takes people normally and makes still pictures, makes them sing and dance to this. Well, he took the photo of the Mind of the Meanie action figure and has you dancing to that.
That's so cool.
Thank you, Shown Cold, for doing that.
Anytime somebody's willing to take a second to do something like that with my likeness, it's cool. Yeah.
Very, very cool. And we thank all of you for taking a lot more than a second to join us here on the Mind of the Meanie. Meanie, any last things you want to say before we wrap it up here?
This was a fun episode, man.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. There's a lot of times we do episodes and I'm like, man, I hope I didn't bore anybody, but I think we had fun today.
Yeah, I think this was a good one. We were coughing up the runs on this one for sure.
Coughing up the runs and chugging down the ugly.
Yeah, it was going to be called, for a second, it was going to be called Messing Around with My Peacock, but I think coughing up the runs is the way to go. But hey, again, thank you everybody so much. Thank you for tuning in on FITE. We really do appreciate that as well. Make sure to follow us on social media at Mind of the Meanie across the board. That's at Mind of the Meanie on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. Go on over to youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie. Hit the like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell. That's going to let you know when we've got some fun things coming, because I think Mrs. Meanie might be working on something that's coming your way. youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie.
Yes.
Again, let's not be afraid to follow us as individuals. He's at Blue Meanie BWO, and I'm at So Says Shernoff across the board. You can find us also on Cameo, which is fun. He's cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO, and I am cameo.com/So Says Shernoff. Again, check out our shirts, prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. He's got some over at prowrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie, and I'm at prowrestlingtees.com/So Says Shernoff. Great shout out and thank you to our sponsors on this show. We've got Ugly. Go check them out and make sure to write a review and use the hashtag #TheUglyTruth. Let them know the Mind of the Meanie sent you. Also, I mean, come on, Manscaped. Manscaped.com. Shave your balls. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code MEANIE20 at manscaped.com. Go now. Do that. Thank you so much. And make sure to tune in again next Monday and every Monday for another trip into the mind of the Meanie. 1 year anniversary.
Blue World Order.
The world of MLW radio never stops.